All right. Well, we welcome everybody back to the next episode of The Horseman's Voice. I want to thank Jeff Corral for his time last week and all the publicity that he's garnered worldwide from his interview. We have another worldwide interview, but this time we had some consultants that we were going to work with in the UK and some people in DC, and due to privacy concerns, they've decided they want to keep it on the low. We also have a Midwestern person that we've been speaking with over the years, and that person would also just basically be on the low, and we respect these people, both consultants, lobbyists, and horse people. So, we have Amber back. Amber, you there?
I am.
All right. So, what type of publicity, I guess, were you garnering before you talked with us with the Horseman's Voice?
Basically, when I first started, before I talked to you, I was just looking local. Local newspapers, local TV. I contacted the newscast out of Madison, Wisconsin, and the local paper here in the county I live in southeast Wisconsin. I was just looking local. We did get a little bit of publicity from the United States Trotting Association, and then I found the Horseman's Voice, and I met you, Eric.
Okay, so like Amy Holler did some things for you, some people out east did some things to you. What other horsewomen can you give shout-outs to, or other horse people besides us?
Suzanne DeAmbros from New Jersey contacted me with the Harness Horse Youth Foundation, and I sent a copy of the book to them. And as soon as they're able, they are going to try to incorporate my book with some of their things that they do for Harness Horse Youth Foundation, hopefully this summer.
Okay.
Also, a shout-out to the Goshen Harness Racing Hall of Fame and Museum out in Goshen, New York. Janet, they are selling my book in their gift shop online right now until their store opens, and they're inviting me out personally to do a book signing over their 4th of July celebration in Goshen, New York. So I'll be there.
So it's literally like in our interview with Paul when the horse was pulling him. I mean, everything's starting to snowball. What do you see, I guess, moving forward with baby steps? You said something about the schools and getting in with education.
Yeah, we started a campaign last fall. My horse was in one of the parades in our hometown of Naval, Wisconsin, and after the parade was over, we brought him down to the park and set up a little paddock area for him, had some hay bales set up, and we did something called Reading with a Racehorse. It's a little campaign that I'm just starting, and hopefully we can expand it to some of the local schools, some of the local libraries. We'd like to visit the nursing homes, and I'm also invited to a 130th anniversary up in northern Wisconsin of their fair, and I'm also invited to a disabled place for those people to meet Derek as well.
Wow.
So we're hoping to educate people a little bit more about Derek and his history and harness racing in general.
So, there's the old saying, numbers talk and people lie. Do you see the numbers starting to increase as far as book sales, either through the publisher, Nico Publishing, locally there, or, are you able to put a finger on the Amazon or Walmart numbers?
Things have slowed down a little bit now that Christmas is over, but we didn't have a whole lot of publicity during Christmas. We weren't that geared up yet. I was kind of just learning how to do all this. So hopefully now that we're getting out there a little bit more nationally and worldwide, hopefully we can get some of the numbers up there and get some more sales. My goal this year is hopefully to sell 500 to 1,000 books.
Wow. So what are you at right now? I guess our signed copy, I think, was $418 if I wasn't mistaken. What do you think you're up to about now? About $450, $500?
About $450 that I sold myself, about another $150 on Amazon. So, that makes about $550, $600 books that we're at so far.
Let's revert back to our conversation. I was listening to it and, listening over and over and over again. You had mentioned that Derek Bromack N was one of two of these, I guess, old war horses. Do you remember what that other horse was? Because you had referenced it in our conversation. Because we have the answer.
I don't remember.
When we did the interview with Emily Hay, she was working with a gentleman that was helping with her horse, and I guess he has a horse based in Ohio, which is the horse that you were talking about. We didn't even know. We didn't even know. So moving forward, it's the information age, and we had a little, I guess, I call it an old school trade. You had said that you would send me an autographed copy. I said in return I would do a little $10 boost down under. It garnered, I think, 948 views with people in the Canterbury region in New Zealand, as well as the Auckland, Wellington, and Christchurch regions. And some parts and bits in Australia. I mean, do you see numbers or anything coming out from a down under?
I haven't yet. My publisher hands me that information, and I haven't contacted him yet. I thought I would give it some time first for everybody to take a look at the book or take a look at that thing we did online, and hopefully then they can order the book and I can get back to get some numbers back to the publisher.
Okay, so we've been working behind the scenes together on and off, and you had enlightened me that a certain horse was in Sports Illustrated. Do you remember the name of that horse?
There was a trotter by the name of Neville Pride back in the 50s, and I found another horse. His name was Adios Harry, and he was the last pacer, last standardbred to grace the cover back in 1968. So it's been 50 years since we've had a standardbred harness horse.
And then everybody knows about Rambling Willie. Rambling Willie was on the
Ed Sullivan Show.
Okay, so we've been working behind the scenes. We're going to let everybody know internationally. We tried getting in touch with Time in New York City. I personally contacted them, and now I guess they've been sold off to a company by the name of Maven. I personally went to a bookstore and tried to research and find names and addresses and contact numbers, old school style, and we couldn't find it. So we'd like to say to Maven Publishing Company, we're going to find you, and we're going to get Love to Race in Sports Illustrated if it kills us. What do you think about that? I mean, we're gonna try our best. We're gonna try to find some more horse publications. We're gonna also introduce you to somebody who we're gonna be talking to next week. A woman by the name of Rose Cushing, today's horsewoman. Have you been in contact with her yet?
I have a little bit. Everything is just kind of getting started there. So she said she was a little busy with everything going on, and she said she definitely wanted to hear from me and hear more about my book. And so I'll be contacting her within the next few weeks, and we'll be telling her all about Derek.
So all the horsewomen out there, she basically runs the gamut, all types of breeds. She's based on in North Carolina. We'd like to give a shout out to Rose. She has no relation to Sherry Cushing, but we're going to leave you guys with this as a preemptive to next week's episode. We're going to be hanging with some cushions. But we really appreciate your time again. Is there anybody else I guess you want to give a shout out to?
Not at this time, Eric. Just you for doing all you can to get me all the coverage that you possibly can. I really appreciate it.
And for those people that know, we do this as a grassroots level. We don't get paid for anything that we do. If anybody has any references for any horsewomen or any horse people, you can email us, you can drop us a PM, or you can call us directly. We really appreciate your time once again, Amber. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.